Okay, number 2, find the slope. The slope of every single horizontal line is always what?
0.
M equals 0. So here we go. M equals 0. Come on now, really concentrate. Make sure you understand this. Anybody have any questions with M equals 0? All right, now let's take a look at question number 4. All right, let's see how you did. M is equal to 8 plus 4 over 4 minus 7, 12 over negative 3, negative 4. Everybody agreeing? All right, here we go. Number 6, 8 minus 9 over negative 2 minus 3, negative 1 over negative 5, 1 over 5. So far, so good? All right. Now, again, here's what caused some people some trouble on the IXL. All right, so let's review this. R minus 2 over negative 8 plus 7 equals negative 5. That one's kind of easy. The reason why it's easy, all right, we would say is that R minus 2 over negative 1 equals negative 5. So everybody agree? Now remember, thank you very much. When you cross multiply, you just get R minus 2 equals 5, right? So R had to be what?
7.
So R has to be 7. Yes, sir.
And if you so sometimes you can just by looking at it, you can see the number. And just
Yeah,
plug
but
it
I
in.
think I made it on the test where you just can't look at it, to be honest.
Okay.
All right, so that's why I'm saying the process is more important. All right, I know some of you guys are pretty smart. You've got figured numbers out pretty good. But again, I don't want you figuring the number out as much as I want you to remember you just cross multiply. What?
Can we use calculators on the test?
I don't care. Whenever you use a calculator, you're always allowed. All right. In class, we work on our mental math. All right. They're annoying, aren't they? All right, here we go. So number 10, the other thing on the test, I usually do not write in decimals. All right, so that 1.5 will be a what? 3 over 2. I would appreciate it if you just remind me, or not remind me, but write it as a fraction. So we have y equals 3/2 x minus 1. All right, and I'm just reviewing up here, slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Everybody good with that? All right.
Will you get points taken off if you write as a decimal?
It does. It's the same answer. True. A decimal and a fraction. I'm not gonna mark something wrong that's correct. I'm just saying we generally, as you progress, we just write in fractions. We don't write in decimals. All right, here we go with question number 12. All right, what is the y-intercept for number 12? Somebody tell me real quick. Negative 2, right? The y-intercept for number 12 is negative 2. So now here's how I'm thinking. Y equals something times x minus 2. So everybody agree with that?
Yes, sir.
And now we're just doing, I went what? Down 2 and over 3, right? Down 2 and over 3. So that slope is negative 2 over 3, right? I don't care where you put the negative, but remember, going down is what? Negative, and to the right is what? There you have it. Anybody have any questions with that? Nobody? All right, here we go. Let's take a look at 14. Again, we're writing in slope-intercept form. What's nice here is they give us the slope, right? And this, so we'd have y equals 3x. What's the y-intercept? Negative 1. So your answer is y equals 3x minus 1. Everybody good with that? All right, so here we go. Let's look at 16. All right, now we have a problem with 16 because they give us a point and a slope. So we should put it in what first? Point slope first. Point slope first. So it would be y minus 3 equals 1/2 times x minus 4. So everybody good with that? And now you got to convert it over to slope-intercept, which means I'm going to distribute the 1/2. Y minus 3 equals 1/2 x minus 2. So far, so good? Solving for y, so I need to add 3. So y equals 1/2 x plus 1. Very good? All right, number 18, put a star by 18. The slope is 0. If the slope is 0, it's just y equals. So in this case, it's just y equals what? 0, right? Y equals 0. Whatever the y value is, the y value is 0. Everybody good with that? All right, so here we go. 20. Now, are we doing anything different on 20 here? No, it doesn't really say. So I said we're going to do point slope form. All right, for these we're doing point slope. The problem is I don't have the what? I don't have the slope, right? So let's find the slope. All right, so slope is equal to, I just made a good observation here. What's true about the y values? No, the y values are what? Both what? -4. So that automatically means the equation of the line is, well, the slope is 0. The slope is 0. Guys, we're totally fine. We can ignore things, I promise you. The slope is 0. What is the equation, though? What's the equation? Thank you.
Y equals 0, 5x minus 4.
Or we could just say y equals what?
-4.
You with me? Y equals -4. Because the y value, both y values are the same, therefore it has to be y equals -4. Now, if you didn't see that, make yourself a little note there. Yes.
But don't you have to write it in point slope form?
Well, you know what? That's not a bad thing, but when you simplify, when you multiply everything through by 0, it just becomes what? Yeah, it just becomes y equals -4. All right, so listen, I'm not going to ask you to do it. Listen, one more time. Let me say this clearly. On your test tomorrow, I'm not going to ask you to write it in point slope form if you can just look at it and say y equals -4.
Alright.
You with me on that? That just, to me, is silly.
So if it
All right.
cancels out, then we'll just do y.
Yeah, it's just y equals -4. Again, you're making an observation. The y values are the same, so the equation has to be y equals -4. There's no reason to put it in a form. All right? That's it. Y equals -4. Is everybody okay with that? All right. 22. All right, here we go. We got to figure out what the slope is. M equals -6 minus 0 over 1 plus 3. -6 over 4, which is the same as,
-3/2.
anybody else get that right? Everybody good? Now we're doing point slope, right? Does it matter what point? No. So if you chose the first one, your answer would be y minus 0 equals -3/2 times x plus 3. But technically, do I have to have the y minus 0? That'd be kind of silly to write on your paper y minus 0. All right, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it looks kind of funny when you say y minus 0. All right, or if you chose the other point, it would be what? Y plus 6 equals, slope is the same, times x minus 1. You could have either one of those. You have to write both of them. No. All right, I'm good enough to figure out which one you're using. All right, so on your test, you just have to pick one of them. You don't write them both. All right, anybody have any questions? All right, we're doing good. Let's continue on. All right, now I need to make sure we're looking at this carefully. We're looking in what? Or we're writing in what again? Point slope form. Point slope form. All right, I think we're quick enough to go through these since we didn't get it through as much yesterday. So here we go. So number 23, y minus 2 equals -3 times x minus 2. Any questions? Number 24, y plus 6 equals -1 times x minus 1. Give yourself checks. If you made a mistake, you star it or highlight it. Say review. All right, number 25. Slope is 0. Y equals -4. Everybody good with that? As soon as you know the slope is 0, it's just y equals. whatever the y value is. 26. Y minus 3 equals negative 3/4 times x minus 1. Any issues? 27. Y minus 5 equals negative 2/5 times x plus 8. 28. Y plus 3 equals 1/3 times x minus 3. Everybody happy with that? Pretty quick, pretty easy. Yes.
For some reason, I put negative.
Okay, well, you have to correct that. All right, you have to correct that. All right, and if you're not sure, remember you write the formula. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. You with me on this? So it's minus whatever the value is. So you would change the sign. That's what a negative means. Change the sign. All right, now we're writing in standard form, so make sure you're familiar. ax plus by equals c. All right, so for 29, I have y minus 11 equals 3x minus 6, right? Now I need the x and y's together. Do I want to move the x or do I want to move the y? I want to move the y because the x is already has to stay positive. So I'm going to pick up the y and move it to the other side. So it becomes 3x minus y. Now I'm going to pick up the negative 6 and throw it on the other side so it becomes a what? Positive 6. So what's negative 11 plus 6? Negative 5. So your answer, 3x minus y equals negative 5. Yes, sir.
So if the x is already positive,
You leave it alone.
you move it to the
If the x is negative, you're going to do what?
move it to the other.
Yes, because you want the x to be positive.
So, could it be negative y plus 3x?
No, because x has to be written before the y for standard form. That's just a rule. Okay, it's just a rule. All right, stay with me, guys. On number 30, y minus 10 equals negative x plus 2. Now I have a negative x, so I throw the x to the left side, and it becomes what? X plus y equals 12. Is everybody with me on this? X plus y equals 12 because it was negative 10. I move the negative 10 to the right side, it becomes positive 10. Everybody good with this? All right. Here we go, 31. Y plus 7 equals 2x plus 10. Practice. Which one am I moving? The x or the y? Move the y over, it becomes 2x minus y equals, move the 10 over, be real careful. Move the 10 and it becomes negative 3. Thank you. So be careful. Negative 3. Say to yourself, 7 minus 10. That's how you should be thinking about it. The 7 stays, so you say that first. 7, then the opposite of that, 7 minus 10. All right, now on 32, a little bit trickier because you have a fraction. So I need to multiply both sides by?
2.
All right, there you go. Multiply both sides by 2. And I end up with,
2y minus 10 equals 3x plus 12.
come on, everybody take a look at that. Make sure you're good. Now, I'm listening.
Why do you multiply those sides?
Well, because I want to get rid of a fraction, because in standard form, fractions are not allowed. Yeah, sorry about that. It's kind of out. You kind of have to mess with the pump.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah, you can just like, I'm going to go get a new one today. What?
And so if like let's just say x plus 4 wasn't in parentheses, would you multiply both those by 2?
No, don't. Come on, I promise you. All right, the parentheses, only multiply one of them. All right, only multiply one. All right, this 2 times this 3/2 is that 3. You with me?
Yeah.
And then you distribute. All right, let's practice number 33. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. So now the final answer becomes 3x minus 2y equals negative 22. All right. Now on 33, I'm going to multiply everything through by 4. 4y plus 8, distributing a negative. Negative 3x minus 3. Everybody happy with that? Now I'm doing what to both sides? Which one am I moving? Subtract the 8 and add the
X.
yes. 3x plus 4y equals negative 11. Everybody good on that? Number 34, I'm going to multiply everything through by 3. So I get 3y.
Minus 18 equals 4x minus 5.
Easy, I told you. All right? Very good. Now moving things around, you should be getting very good at moving things around. 4x minus 3y equals negative 6. Beautiful. All right? Now again, I didn't put any decimals on the test, so this 1.5 is the same as what? Yeah, you guys know that. So now I'm going to multiply both sides by what? 2. 2y plus 8 equals 3x plus 6. Okay, so we have 3x minus 2y equals 2. Everybody happy with that?
So I did it with the decimal and I got a different answer. Shouldn't I say?
Then your answer is
Wrong.
wrong.
You're wrong.
All right. No, let me tell you something, Charlotte, here on this. Listen, I'm just kidding you. Listen, you're probably correct, except there's no decimals allowed.
Okay.
All right, so you have to get rid of the decimal. That's why I said there's no decimals, so I just changed it to a fraction.
Okay.
All right, and like I said, on the test tomorrow, there's no decimals. All right, yes.
For that, like I just
Yeah, you can divide everything through by 10, but then you're going to have to divide in some cases because you could end up with like 6x minus 4y equals 4 or something like that. Does that make sense? Right? That's where it has to come into the third part of the standard form was they have to be relatively prime. All right, so be careful with that. Come on, guys, stay with me. Write each equation in slope-intercept form, which is the easy one. Slope-intercept, y equals,
negative 5x minus 57.
good, equals negative 5x minus 60. So y equals negative 5x minus 57. Good job, guys. I feel like you're doing good. That's up to you. All right. 37. Here we go. Distributing the negative 7. Y plus 1 equals negative 7x minus 7. Y equals.
Negative 7x minus 8.
Yep. Very good. All right. A couple more to go here. Distributing a 4. Y plus 2 equals 4x plus 8.
Y equals 4x plus 6.
Yes, y equals 4x plus 6. Okay, now listen to me real quick. All right, this is the stuff that we missed on the last test. All right, listen, this is the stuff we missed on the last test, so I need your attention on this to detail. All right, what I want to do is I'm going to give you about 5 minutes. I want you to work through all of these that you can. If you didn't quite finish up, I want you to finish up, but you got to give me a minute real quick.
Will these be on the test
Of
tomorrow?
course they are. Hey, back on track. Listen, now, again, we're going to kind of practice the mental math now. That's what I kind of want you working on. Again, I don't care about the calculators. You can check your work with a calculator, but again, in class, we're going to practice the mental math. So here we go. For example, 39. 5 times 0.4 is what? 2. Absolute value of 2. All right, so we're good. 40. What's negative 9 times y?
27.
27. Absolute value of 27.
27.
27. Beautiful.
Yay.
All right. Here, you can go out this way since you're crippled. Go on. All right. Poor Dalton. All right, here we go. 9 times y is what?
9 times y is 27.
Hey, listen, guys.
Negative 27.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I need to finish up, guys. I need to finish up. It's almost time to go, and I haven't gone through all the problems. So I want to get through this. All right? So, again, 9 times y, stay with me. What is that?
Negative 27.
Negative 27 minus a negative 10 would be,
Negative 37.
wait a minute now. Now, be careful. This is what I'm talking about. So, absolute value, negative 27 plus 10. Do you agree?
Yes.
The double negatives, right? So then it would be negative 17, and then the absolute value would be 17. All right, that's what we got. Guys, listen, I want you to know something. Here's what I believe. You should not celebrate being correct, because that's what you are. You're always correct. No reason to celebrate. All right? I am just confirming what you already know. All right? It's not a big deal. When you celebrate, it's like wow, you're 1 for 49 or whatever it is. All right? You finally got one right.
Yes.
Congratulations. All right? We are confirming the answers. We're confirming the answers. All right? And we're wasting time, so stay with me. 17 times z. Negative 170. Absolute value of negative 170. But there's a negative out in front, so it's back to negative 170. $43. Here we go. Negative absolute value. Now I have 10 times z, which is negative 100 minus 31 is negative 131 all the way through. Take a look. See if you understand that.
Yes.
It is negative 131. All right, now number 44. Here we go. Hey, listen, you guys. The little conversations now are starting to get in the way of progress. I got to finish. I still haven't done the equations. I still have one more worksheet after this to go. All right, if you want the answers, you got to be with me. Stay with me. Let's get going. We're not going to finish at this pace. All right, now I have negative parenthesis or negative absolute value. 8 times x is 16. Negative 3 times negative 3 was the positive 9. Plus 2 times y. Negative 6 plus 5 times x. There we go. Look carefully. So now I have 25 plus 4. So it would be negative 25 plus 4 equals negative 21. What? Good question.
How did you get? Oh, sorry, never mind.
All right, now back to the equations. All right, the stuff that's really important. All right. Now, when you're writing the equations, about half of you forgot that we have 2 solutions here. So that would be y plus 3 equals 2, and y plus 3 equals negative 2. Now when you solve, y equals negative 1 or y equals negative 5. Number 47, you should be look at real carefully and say, hey, my absolute value can't equal a negative. Therefore, it is what? No solution. Now, the next thing some of you forgot, you need to make yourself a note. Isolate the absolute value. To isolate the absolute value on 49, you have to first divide by negative 5. You do not distribute the negative 5. All right, you divide by negative 5. That will give you absolute value of 6a plus 2 equals 3. Yes?
It equals a negative. Yeah.
No, it does not. All right? The reason why it does not is because it was not isolated. The absolute value was not isolated. Right? You have to get rid of the, and that's why I'm saying it's important to understand that, because it looks like there's no solution. But the first thing you have to do is divide by negative 5, which then changes the absolute value equal to 3. So now I have 6a plus 2 equals 3, 6a plus 2 equals negative 3, 6a equals 1. So a is 1/6, or 6a is negative 5. So a could be negative 5/6. There you have it. All right.
How'd you get the 6? Wait, I still
There's a 6 right here.
Yeah.
6.
Because there's
Divide.
Yeah, I understand that there's 6, but.
You having trouble with 5 divided by 6?
Exploded.
and the
That
other
is the fraction, 5 6.
Oh, yeah.
and the
Okay.
right side is because there's 2 different answers.
That's right.
What?
Right, here we go. Back up top, 46. So now you're again writing 1 minus c equals 10. 1 minus c equals negative 10. Now here's another example of I want the variable to be positive. So I'm going to move the negative c and move the 10. So this says c would be negative 9. And this would be c equals 11. So c is equal to negative 9 or c equals 11. Practice moving those things. All right, now on 48, the first thing I have to do on 48 is to do what? Subtract 2, thank you. Oh, and 7x minus 3x, what's that? So the absolute value of 4x is equal to 16. So 4x is equal to 16, or 4x is equal to negative 16. So x can be 4 or negative 4. And then finally on 50, 3n minus 2 equals 1/2. 3n minus 2 equals negative 1/2. Now you're practicing your fractions. All right? If I add 2, 1/2 plus 2 is the same as 3 halves. I'm sorry, 5 halves. All right? Because when I add 2, 2 is the same as what? 4 halves. I'm adding 4 halves. Everybody good? Now, because I'm doing a fraction, if you divide by 3, you get a complex fraction. So what I always show kids is that instead of dividing by 3 this time, just multiply by 1/3. And the reason why you do that, that still cancels, but it's just easier to see the fraction is what? 5 over 6. All right? 5 over 6. Now, again, if I add 2, I have 3n. This time is 3 halves, because again, I will be adding 4 halves. Multiplying both sides by 1/3, n is equal to what? 1/2. All right? So n could be 5/6, or n could be 1/2. All right? Any questions? All right, any questions? All right, here we go. Now, solving for variables, solving for t. Please listen. All of these are held together by multiplication. So all I have to do is divide. So you should be able to easily see that t is just p over what? IR. All right? Number 53, if I'm solving for x, the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of dividing by 3, which would require me to what? Multiply by 3. So x plus y equals 15. Now I have to get rid of the y, so it's going to be x equals 15 minus y. On 55, all that is multiplication. So to solve for L, L is just what, guys? V over WH. Now how do I undo divided by 2? So 2a equals x plus y. Go ahead. So y equals
2a minus x.
2a minus x. Any issues with that? All right, let's check out 59. How do I get rid of divided by 3? Right, so 3a equals. Now I'm solving for b, so I have to. Very good. So b is equal to 3a minus c. Very easy. All right. What?
Oh, wait, never mind.
All right, here we go. Let's come up here now. Let's try to finish this up. Solving for x. So y plus 6 equals 5x. So x equals y plus 6 all over 5. Everybody happy with that? So now, here we go. Solving for y. All right, I have by equals c minus ax, right? So y equals c minus ax all over b. Now 56 is an easy one because again it's all multiplication, so to get rid of the multiplication, so v over pi r squared is equal to h, so h equals v over pi r squared. 58 is kind of easy. Multiply both sides by 6. 6x equals yz. So z is equal to what?
2.
I think it's 6x over y. Everybody good?
Oh, yeah.
And then finally, 60 multiply both sides by what? 4x equals 2y minus z. Now again, this is a good example of I want the z to be positive. So I'm going to move that. Z equals
4x minus 2 over negative 1.
Now listen, remember, dividing by negative 1 just means change the signs, okay? You with me? But I prefer that you write it like this. Z equals 2y minus 4x. Anybody have any questions? Go,
Can
quick.
you go back up to 56?
Yeah, let's look at 56 real quick. Take a look. You see it? All right. Everybody good? All right, guys. I'm going to post it right now. All right.